Here is my story on how I broke my jaw. I woke up to a broken jaw on May 18th after a night out drinking with a male coworker. Open gash on my chin so deep that you could see my bone. My jaw was broken this way and completely detached right here. My teeth had almost completely bitten through my lip, my bottom ones biting through the inside. I have a huge amount of scar tissue right here. There's stitches all in here, all down here. And then my front top teeth bit through. I don't know if you can see the scar tissue. My front tooth completely came out, root and all, and then I chipped my other front tooth, and there is a molar that is chipped on the inside. That was all of my injuries though. I didn't break any other bones, didn't crack my fingers, I had nails on, didn't lose a nail, just a lot of bruising. On Saturday night, May 17th, me and my coworker decided to go out for drinks after work. Yes, he was a male. Yes, it was our first time hanging out. Yes, that was my first mistake. We decided to go to a bar that my friend was working at. When we arrived to the bar, it was completely empty. There was no one there and my friend was leaving. So the three of us left together in one car to go to a new club. The line was really long. My friend didn't want to wait, so she left me and my coworker there, which I never, ever blamed her for or was mad at her for or felt any type of way towards. Me and my coworker finally make our way inside the club after waiting 25 minutes, and we immediately head to the bar. He orders us 2 shots each and a tequila soda, and that is literally the only thing I remember from that entire night. I will say that we were drinking in the car before we got to the bar, so I did not get there stone cold sober. I have never in my life ever blacked out before. I always know my limits when I'm drinking, and I don't do any sort of drugs or anything else like that. I'm literally 90% of the time a sober sister. So this was so unlike me. Everything that happened this night, I feel like was so out of character for everyone that was involved. Everyone was acting so weird. I can't even explain it. And I'll go into that deeper in a different video because I'm just trying to keep this as a story time. It's such a long story. This was my first time ever blacking out, and it was also my first time ever going out alone with a man. I wake up in the morning on May 18th to a text from my coworker saying, "Here is my story on how I broke my jaw, part 2. This was my first time ever blacking out, and it was also my first time ever going out alone with a man. I don't remember anything else from that night. I wake up in the morning on May 18th to a text from my coworker saying that I had taken a fall down the stairs and I peed myself, and he did his best to clean me up. He got me in bed and to call him in the morning. I was not in any pain when I woke up. There was nothing that immediately flagged me that oh my god, I'm in pain, I'm in danger, something happened. I literally read the text, I responded, LMAO, I'm so sorry. Because I was so embarrassed that I, 1, got too drunk, 2, fell, 3, peed myself. After I sent that text, I went back to sleep. I finally get up around 8 a.m. on May 18th, Sunday morning, and I make my way to the bathrooms and brush my teeth like I do every single morning. When I looked in the mirror, this is what I saw looking back at me. I didn't even know, I don't even remember my first initial thought. I don't think, I don't process things very well. So guess what the first thing I did was? I proceeded to brush my teeth. Literally jaw hanging off, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me just... I'm texting my best friend, and I'm like, I'm so calm about the entire thing, which is bizarre. And I'm like, oh my god, my teeth are gone. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm just texting her, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, my teeth are literally gone. She's like, send me a picture. I send her a picture. She immediately starts freaking out because she's not one to stay calm. She starts freaking out, as she should, honestly. And I go downstairs, and I finally notice that my room looks like a murder scene. My room literally looks like someone was murdered in it. There was so much blood all over my carpet. My carpet's white. All over my bed. Literally, the whole thing was covered in blood. Smeared on the wall, down the stairs. There was blood on the floor. There was blood everywhere. I wish I took pictures. I didn't take pictures of anything. I was so ill-prepared. I end up texting my coworker, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? I know you said I fell, but what the fuck happened? What happened? He obviously doesn't answer because he's still sleeping. Whatever I was wearing, I woke up in a bathrobe. I woke up with my hair in a bun, all my jewelry was off, my makeup was off, my contacts were out. I don't know if I was so blacked out that I didn't feel the pain of my jaw and I continued to get unready for bed, or if no, because he said that he undressed me. I think the scariest part is not knowing what happened to me when he brought me home. And we have ring camera footage of him getting me in the house, and I am so annihilated, I am so obliterated, I can't even walk. It's insane to see myself like that because I've never been like that. But I had to be somewhat still conscious because I had to tell him where I lived, give him the keys to get in the house. We got back to the house around 2:45. And then he walked back out to his car at 2:53. So 8 minutes after we got in my house, he walked back to his car at 8:53, grabbed something, and then came back in. And he didn't leave again until almost 4 a.m. where he's walking out with his bloody t-shirt. And then he leaves. The scariest part is that he refuses to tell anyone what happened that night. I texted him a million times. He kept saying, I took a fall. I think what baffles me the most is like, you see I took a fall, I'm completely annihilated, I don't even probably know what's going on. He saw that my tooth was missing, he knows I'm bleeding a lot, his t-shirt was covered in blood if he was trying to clean me up. You left me there. He left me there bleeding in my bed. I woke up to so much blood. I also was drinking, so my blood was thinner. I could have bled out that night. The human decency. You could have just slept on my daybed. I have a second bed in my room. You could have slept and stayed with me for the night. You could have taken me to the hospital. You could have called the ambulance. Or you could have seen if anyone else was home. I live with other people and he knew that. The fact that he just cleaned me up and put me to bed is ridiculous. It's crazy. I could have died. I literally could have died that night and no one would have known what would happen. No one would have known a single thing that would have happened to me. But for the first 2 or 3 days, that didn't click in my head. I didn't view him as a villain. I didn't view anyone as a villain. In my head, I got too drunk. I fell down the stairs. I was embarrassed that I drank too much. I was embarrassed that I fell. I was embarrassed that now my jaw was broken, and I was embarrassed that I pissed myself. And I didn't want to tell anyone. I almost didn't even tell my mother about it. I end up calling my boyfriend, and he picks me up and immediately takes me to the hospital.